Third generation versus the fourth generation tonight on This Week. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and another episode of This Week, the show that we talk about what happened last week and look forward to what is going to maybe happen next week. Who the hell knows? It's always like hitting a moving target with Arcade One. If I was keeping us on our toes or just keeping us frustrated, who knows? What's going on tonight? So tonight, the bourbon of choice, we're switching from the 1917. We're going to try to finish off the bottle of Elijah Craig, the small batch, and we are almost there. And I think if we put our minds to it, we can accomplish anything. That includes finishing up this bourbon. And as a side note, I got to say, there's something about a bottle with a cork just makes it seem so much more premium. And then with these Elijah Craig wooden tops, they actually have Elijah Craig sort of engraved in the top. That's nice. And if you hear that sound, I don't know if you can hear that. It's quality, just like a fine wine. If it's got a cork in it, it must be good, right? That's what they told me. That's what they told me growing up. And then everybody in Kentucky swears by it. They swear that is the thing. That is the thing to do, is to go with the bourbon. Let's go hi. Say hi to the chat real quick. Frisco says, yeah, true. Yeah, true. Sure, I'll agree with you. Benji, new subscriber. What's up, man? What's the bourbon tonight? Yeah, the bourbon tonight is the Elijah Craig small batch. We're going to try to finish this off. Maybe not tonight, but we're going to work on this. Yeah, we're gonna keep plugging away at that one so that we can change it up and get another bottle. We got the 1917 or 1719 in there, but we're gonna see what else we can get our hands on for the next few coming weeks, because I think we're gonna actually start having some action. We're gonna have some cabs get delivered. Some of the new stuff we get to get our hands and our eyes on. Hopefully, cross our fingers, knock on wood, something. Big Blue is just around the corner. So haven't got that email yet. Don't know exactly when that thing's supposed to show up. The target date keeps getting shifted. It was actually going to be August, and now it's looking like September. What week in September? I don't really know. I did get an update on something else I pre-ordered. With this whole crazy pandemic, everybody's been pre-ordering stuff from way back late 2020, early part of this year, and kind of been in limbo for a while. I pre-ordered this thing. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to make you sweat it out. I pre-ordered this on January 16th, I think. Just as soon as I had heard about it. I think the pre-orders were only up for a little bit, and it got pushed and pushed and pushed, and I actually got an update on that one. So that one is going to be August 17th. What is it? What is this epic unboxing he speaks of? You got to come check it out. It is not arcade related. It is something different. One of my other passions, one of the things that I really enjoy. Just watched the Golden Axe review. Brad says, sorry, I forgot to introduce you. I know everybody can read, but still. Brad says, I just watched the Golden Axe review. Great stuff. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Filmed so well, and I love the way you compared all the 4-player cabs, lining them up in a row. This is how you do a quality review. Genius. Thank you. No, thank you very much. I thought that added context to the I mean, when we talk about price, what are we really talking about? What does it really mean in dollars, in Arcade One-Up dollars, I guess? What did we used to get for that money? And to just say, oh, it's too much. Well, what is that based on? I think for most of us, it's too much. It's based on fact. It's based on a predicate that they have set themselves. So no, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and definitely share the hell out of that video if you like it, and let everybody know about it. The last one I got about 10,000 views on that one. It's a big deal for my little channel. So Endless One Up says, totally agree, Brad. Thank you. I appreciate it. Compliments all the way around. With that, let's take a little sip, huh? A little bit of a bite, but overall, pretty smooth. Overall, pretty smooth. Walter says, if you haven't seen it, there's more price increases. The NBA Jam is $549 and Legacy cabinets are $449. Yeah, and it really depends on where you go. NBA Jam still, as of today, as of right now, the NBA Jam you can still get at Walmart.com for $3.99. I don't think that's going to last very long. Walmart seems to be the only retailer that is holding on to those older prices, and I think that if anybody's inclined to buy that, that's where you want to go if you want to buy new. There's still the secondary market. If you want to check out Facebook Marketplace, you want to check out Craigslist or whatever, you can definitely do that as always. But I think if you're talking about brand new, especially if you want to do something online, Walmart.com is the only place you're going to get a reasonable price for some of this stuff. Because you're right, across the board, every other place I've checked is going with these prices. You know, even the Best Buys, Target, all that, everything's going up. Everything is going up. Is it justified? We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. We are definitely still bunches of legacy cabs for $2.99 at Walmart. Exactly. Sold for sale. Thank you for that. $2.99. He is referring to they. I keep doing that. I guess it's just that misogynistic nature that I have. Keep calling everybody he. Sold for sale. You're right. $2.99 is the price for the legacy cabinets without the risers, without the lip marquees. It's a great way to get started in the hobby. I'm going to say right now, everybody, it's well documented, my complaints that I have with legacy cabinets. But let's say you're looking for that first cab. That's what you do. That's where you start. That's going to give you a great idea of a base model arcade 1-up. You're going to get 12 games with it. Pick your poison. Do you want Namco? You're not going to have some of those control panel issues if you go with an Namco. If you go with the Atari, if you go with, if you're going to go with anything that's got 6 buttons or 5 buttons, Mortal Kombat or Capcom, the Midway versus Capcom or Capcom, you're going to have some control panel issues, but it is a great way to get started in the hobby to see if this is for you. It's $2.99 for something brand new. It's not bad. And once you get into it, and if you like it, then you can figure out what you want to do for a riser, what makes sense for you. Do you want to buy an arcade 1-up? Do you want to do something on your own? Do you need a lip marquee? Do you care about that? Maybe you get it. It's $2.99. You play it a while and you realize, well, this really isn't for me. You can easily offload that for $150, let's say half the price, maybe even $200. You can probably offload that for $200. And then, there you go. You really haven't lost that much money, $100. And then for sure. There's a lot of people. Actually, I picked up my NBA Jam from a guy that was sort of like, hey, I had to get it. I have it. It's sat there for so long. I was like, I'm also get rid of it. So I got it for I think I got it for a steal because for the most part, the thing was in great shape. He made an error, and I've seen this buying cabs secondhand. I've seen this probably 75% of the cabinets that I've purchased, there was a misunderstanding in the assembly of the cabinet. And I think for the most part, Arcade 1-up does a pretty good job on that. But for some reason, some of those flat panels, it's not noted. And when you go back and look at some of the instructions, it can be a little bit frustrating, some of the notches that are cut out in some of those skinny panels, how they actually fit together. Because you see these panels are upside down and they don't, and the side panels or something don't fit together. With this was the I panel was in there, didn't go down all the way. And so he put his J panel in and it kind of pressed against, and it always happens on the I panels. Those decals on the front are so thin that if they get rubbed on, they're going to peel up. You saw in my review. If you saw my review, definitely go check that out of that brand new Golden X cab. Whenever I slid that down, and there's no way you can screw this up. If you get it in the grooves, all you got to do is line it up and start pushing it down. I started to push it down, and I'm probably 6 or 8 inches into that groove, and there was some kind of snag that I hit. And when I hit that, it peeled up about 2 inches of that decal on the front. Now, some of those eye panels, they were solid black melamine. Yeah, melamine on the back. So it would have been no big deal. I could have just slid that out, flipped it over, and put it in place. The X-Men versus Street Fighter cabinets, their eye panels have the black on the back side. So you have the decal, which is very thin and fragile. And on the back side, you got that thicker black plastic that's sort of laminated as part of the panel. You can just flip it around and just rock a solid black panel, and you're fine. It doesn't matter. But unfortunately, with that one, now I've got to come up with something. What am I going to do? Probably going to go to Home Depot again and cut a custom eye panel out of that blackboard, the dry erase chalkboard stuff that they sell there. I think it's like, I don't even know what the price is now, because that is one of the things that was affected by this whole pandemic. Prices are fluctuating like crazy. So I don't know exactly how much that is, but I gotta get that fixed out. But yeah, so it's a great way to get started for $2.99 to get into this hobby and see if it's for you. It's not for everybody, but that's a great way to figure it out for sure. And yeah, add a riser for $44. It's a pretty good deal. It is definitely a pretty good deal. There's a lot worse ways you could go. Jumping in feet first with an $850 arcade one-up pinball machine. I don't recommend that. Definitely start with another cab. I'd actually suggest going with the used cab for sure. Cryotech 6. Those 3 4-player cabs are the exact same. Well, yeah, I mean, physically, yes. Wi-Fi and games being the difference, sure. But nothing to justify the price increase. So it has to do with shipping and cost of materials, if nothing else. If you're going to whittle this down, if we're going to take greed off the table, let's take greed off the table. Let's not assume, at least for the point of this conversation, we're going to assume that the arcade one-up isn't a villain twirling their mustache, or twisting their mustache, talking about how evil they are. I'm evil. Let's raise the prices. Let's say that there is something out there that is impacting the price. I think that you are correct. I'm going to go with shipping, and I'm going to go specifically with the cost of the chipsets. The wood is just a stupid argument. I don't believe the wood at all. I believe that if the wood was the issue, then everyone across the board would be increasing their prices. There's no way the wood is the problem. I don't believe the wood for a second. There's probably an increase there, but I think it's minimal. I think it's probably the chipset is the big thing. Sourcing the chips for these PCBs is probably a serious cost. I give them that 100%, and I give them, even the Wi-Fi antennas and shipping. There's no way around it. The shipping is definitely a tough one. But at the end of the day, you got to go back and think about. Listen, they are a company, and they have to mitigate these risks. They have to sail the seas of uncertainty. In this case, literally sailing the seas. And they've got to figure out for themselves what do they want to do for the long-term success of their business. Do they really think they can pass on 100% of that increased cost to the customer and their sales numbers will not change? I mean, no competent economist would suggest that. No rational business person will say there's no way you can just pass on 100% of your increased business costs to the customer directly and think that that's not going to impact your sales negatively. It's going to. That's a risk reward thing, a calculation they're going to have to make. I'm sure they all make this every day. What's the best thing? What's the lesser of two evils? I'm going to theorize right now that because perhaps, let's just spitball in here. Let's just theorize. Let's say that their supply chains are still bottlenecked and they know that they aren't going to be able to get as many of these cabs out there. Could this price increase be temporary? Specifically on things like the pinball machine, where we saw that gigantic increase. Is it possible that it's a temporary increase? And then once supply chains ramp up and they know that they have enough supply to meet that demand, could we see those prices? I'm not talking about retailers. I'm talking about the price from one-up, those MSRPs, the suggested retail prices that all these websites are going by. Can we see those prices fall? So then you have an across-the-board drop in price. I don't know, but I think that they're going to have to, because there's no way. So many people, so many enthusiasts were on the fence about a $600 pinball machine. When it comes to $850, there's not even a conversation. There is not even a conversation going on. They're just like, nope, I'm good, I'm out. What is going on, Snowdub? We got a $2 super chat from my brother Snowdub. What's the latest on the KI and the Simpsons? Killer Instinct is technically still a rumor. It's not even been confirmed. Well, I guess it's been confirmed because it's on their website, so I guess it is confirmed or it is announced. But no official price yet. Just speculation. So no new updates on that. And as far as Simpsons, it is still the drama still continues. Snowdub. Simpsons is still on their website. They still list the one game. So my crazy ass theory is still valid. It's still valid. Potentially, there will be no bowling game on there, at least for the foreseeable future. As far as possibilities go, that's definitely a way to go. Man, thank you so much for the super chat. And let me give you something a little bit new right here.
isn't the only Super Saiyan. There's another one right here. Trunks! Win!
Thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Always appreciate it. Okay, so Mike Hawkhurts says, seems like terrible marketing from Arcade 1-Up to be releasing 3 of the 4-player cabs all in the same quarter. Yeah, we'll see TMNT 2, the second version of the same cab, X-Men, Simpsons, even the recent restock of Golden Axe. It does seem a little odd, doesn't it? If you're going to draw a hard line between third generation and what is now the fourth generation, I'm going to call it the fourth gen. This is a really weird time to restock Golden Axe in such a... I guess you're right. I think the Golden Axe isn't the problem, because Golden Axe, from what I'm hearing, and this is another thing to consider, is I've seen a lot of people in my... See, I just bought the Golden Axe when it became available. There is a lot of people that have said in my chats, hey, I had this thing reserved. I ordered this thing back in February. Some people are like, I didn't even know if I was going to get it. And now they're able to get this. So it's a basic order fulfillment at this point. They've got to produce so much just to fulfill those pre-orders that are out there. Or those orders, not even pre-orders. They were just straight up orders that didn't get filled. So you've got that. So yeah, you're right, Mike. You could have pushed back, some of these. I say you still keep X-Men coming because that was announced. So maybe you keep that one coming and you hold off on TMNT 2 and Simpsons until, maybe the first part of next year, or even further. Maybe we're talking about March sometime. Allow Golden Axe to come in and sort of refill the market there. You got X-Men, a lot of hype with that. The price of that, that's another thing to consider when you're throwing them out at these prices, at these $700 price points, and there's 3 or 4 of them out there. Sales is going to be cannibalized. There's people that are going to be on the fence, and if I'm forced to choose right now, I have to get one right now. It's Christmas time, whatever. I have to make a purchase now. I've got 3 to choose from, plus this Golden Axe that I really wanted last time, but that's the old body style, Gen 3, and I want to try out the new ones. What are you going to do? I think a lot of people, maybe they won't pull the trigger on the Golden Axe because, that's the old style. I want the new style. And then now it's time to get the new style. Okay, so now they've lost a sale for the Golden Axe, which they may have gotten. It's time to look at these new styles, these new side panels, this new stuff. What's going on here? Well, TMNT, I don't think I want that. It's only got 2 games. I think it's going to whittle down to where you potentially, out of the 4, I think you probably could have had 2. Let's say you could have had 2 sales, maybe even 3, because of the timing and because of the pricing. I think you're going to get 1 sale out of that. I'm just saying, if you would have spread that out, dropped the price a little bit, that same buyer would have probably bought 2 or 3, and now you're just going to get 1, if you're lucky. If that buyer hasn't also been just, disenfranchised or demoralized, or the wind is out of their sails because they know they can't afford this. And when it comes to, they have to know their demographic. This is definitely, for us old people, right? In our 40s. That are really hearkening back to a time of the arcades, maybe late 30s. And for a lot of us still have kids at home. And when it comes time for Christmas, are you really gonna, buy yourself a couple of these things, or ask your spouse, or your significant other for one of these, or maybe your parents or whoever for 1 or 2 of these, when that's the price point. I mean, it's not like it's, a PS5, Xbox. We talked about this before. We've made those comparisons. It's current generation, and we're talking hundreds of dollars more than a PS5 and an Xbox. So it's I think you make a really good point. It's a whole lot going on in that first quarter, and there's another thing to consider, Mike. How many people don't like the 4-player cab because it's so close? It's so tight. It's just they just don't like the form factor. So good point for sure. Bozo, brother, what's going on? It's Bourbon Sunday with 19K Fox. Oh yeah, you better believe it. Kicking back, drinking some bourbon, talking about arcades with my friends. What's going on? What is going on? David asks, you still enjoying your Outrun cab? And he says, yes, he loves it. Got it for $4.99. The good old days. Yes, the good old days. The good old days. All right, so now it is time. It's time once again for, I need to have a segment on this. If the thing wasn't coming out in a couple weeks, I'd probably make one, a stinger, a little video where we talk about the updates. What's the update on the Simpsons cab? Simpsons cab update. Here we go. All right, the latest and greatest today. For those of you watching this on the replay, today is the 8th, and this thing is due. Pre-orders are going to go live on the 16th. So we are now down to what, 8 days and counting, a week and a day. What the hell? And we still don't know a couple things. We don't know what that second game is. Nothing here saying anything about the second game. The Wi-Fi is there. That's great. But, we had that on NBA Jam. No, nothing that was. Now, listen, the tin sign is still available. So don't you worry about that. We're going to have that. So that's just rest your soul there. Don't freak out. You're still getting that. So that's good. But, you're still got these confusing still. I still can't believe this. I know I keep highlighting this and it's probably silly, but look, just come on. Look at this. 11 inches. This is so confusing. How can someone say, and listen, this is what this is about. This is really what this is about. And I keep highlighting this, and I know it may get old and a little bit boring, but how can I possibly pre-order something if I don't have all the information? What am I getting for my money? How can you possibly expect people to pay $700 or $650 for this cab when they don't even know the second game and they don't really know what the dimensions are? You're forcing them to have to go to another listing. Let's go to TMNT. Let's go to X-Men. Maybe we can figure out what the size is. Let's compare this to the other ones. Maybe they are. Maybe I have a 4-player. I guess it's going to be close. No. You have to spell this out for people completely, 100%. You got to let them know exactly what they're getting. If you expect people to spend that much money, Majanian, what's up? I just want Tron. Then I'm done with Arcade F up. You're not the only one. They're sowing some seeds of doubt for many people. And it's a shame. It's a shame because I think that there could be some really good cabs on the horizon. Really good. 8-bit. What's up, brother? $300 cabs, but no riser or light up marquee. I know. $300 cabs kind of takes us back to the roots, right? Takes us back to the beginning of Arcade 1-Up. $300 days. Oh, those days were sweet, weren't they? Those days were sweet. I still think they should go a la carte. 100%. Even for the latest and greatest badass cabs, you should have a base model. You should have $500, right? For just the cab, no riser. Well, I'll take that back. I think you got to have a riser. $500 gets you the cab and riser, And then if you want to add all kind of crazy stuff, you can. But $500 should be the absolute just peak. And I'm talking about Terminator 2 also. You're going to put one game on there. I know these guns there's going to be some costs there, but you have to convince people that this product is worth their time. So $500. I'm saying it, $500. Maybe on that one, maybe you can take the riser away. Maybe you can piecemeal the lip marquee. Maybe there's no lip marquee on it. Do what you can, but keep those prices at $499 or cheaper. Especially if we're talking about single player or single game cabs, which I think is a possibility. what else is going to go on the T2 cabinet? I don't know. For me, $600 I would pay $600. I'd pay $600 for T2. When we go beyond that, I'm going to start asking questions. I'm going to start asking some serious questions because this is also a brand new form factor. I'll say brand new. It's not 100% brand new, but the side panels are different. Go back and look at it. It's different. It looks completely different. And that could pose its own set of challenges. Sometimes we've seen the way these cabs go together. When they deviated from, when with my legacy cab, and I've talked about this before, when we're talking about the I panel, when we are talking about the I panel and J panels and the way they slide, I'm looking for one of these assembly manuals. This it? Oh, this is an owner manual or assembly English. Yeah, this is not the assembly manual. Good old Street Fighter. But when you had your J panels and I panels, you would slide them in place. So you could assemble the whole thing, right? You could tighten it all up. It's super tight. And then the grooves were routed all the way in the panel, where all you had to do was slide your I panel all the way down, set it up, and then the J panel would go in, and then you put your control panel on. That was it. With the the legacy cabinets, that wasn't the case. You had to line every single panel up and tighten the whole thing together as an assembly, and that's a pain in the ass. That's a pain in the ass to have to line all this stuff up and then tighten it up is insane, because you know what you got to do. You got to lay the first one down. You got to attach all the boards that are sticking up, so the whole thing's sticking up. You got your marquee, you got your speaker support panel, the monitor's already in there, and now it's time to take the other side panel and set it on top. That was hard enough, but at least there were dowels in every single piece that you had. You could kind of line that up. It gave you about a ½ inch, or well, not a ½ inch, maybe a ¼ inch that you could just, sandwich, sit that on there, sandwich it down, tighten that up. No, you have all that with the dowels, and now you also have those two panels, those thin little ¼ inch panels that also have to line up in their grooves before you sandwich the whole thing together. So you end up kind of working your way around, and when you get there, we've talked about this before with those eye panels and the decals that are on the eye panel, they're easily ripped and torn. You easily can scratch those up, and it sucks because that's right on the front of your panel. And if the back of it is black, you're in good shape, but like Golden Axe, it was brown. I'm not going to flip that around and just have raw MDF showing. You can't do that. So now you got to come up with a different solution. And it sucks if you like the front with the games list on it. I don't really care, but I do like it to be consistent. So if I'm going to have one in my arcade room, I want to have them all like the same, right? Period correct. So 3rd gen is going to have the game titles, and then 4th gen is not going to have the game titles. Big Blue is not going to have the games list right there on the front. It's not even going to have a fake coin door. It's going to have some anime art on it. I don't know. That blows me away. I don't know what the hell they're doing there. Like, there's nothing on the sides, but they got a little art piece right there. Why? I don't know why they did that. Well, I'm on record, and and I know this sounds stupid. I get it. I bought it. I pre-ordered it, but I don't like the way it looks. I drink a lot. I don't drink a lot. It's not a cry for help. It's fine. But I think that the form factor is interesting. The control panel, the way it's laid out like that, I got to try it out. And I got to let you know if it's worth your money. At least it's got 12 games in it. Most of them are different. You got 4 games that carry over. So there's some reasons there to give it a shot. Realm Chat? What's going on? Haven't seen you before. Thanks for stopping by. For $300, you can have a sweet Mr. Rig. I know. Emulation. There's a lot of emulation rigs out there that can just kill it. Dan Freeman, what's up? No riser. Ain't no big deal. I got the Pac-Man 40th for $2.99 at Walmart and bought the riser for $44. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Dan. It gives you options. You can start with the base and go from there. If somebody wants to walk in and spend $500 or $600 because they want to get everything at once, they don't want to have to mess with it, you got those options. We have all those options, right? Some of them come with stools, but what about that slim down, simple option? Now we got that with the legacy cabs, and that's fine, but that's only 4 cabs. They should all be that way. Give people the opportunity to baby steps their way into it. Do that for all the cabs. You may have one-offs that are a little weird. Big Buck Hunter, maybe something that's very specific. Driving games like Outrun, maybe that's not feasible. So we can talk about those with their special control schemes. But why not? You could get the Outrun, the sit-down version. Why not just sell the Outrun cab, the sit-down version, without the seat? Just a thought. Allow people to build this thing out the way they want to. What if, and think about this. If, let's say you wanted to pick up 3 of these at $300 each, because you had an idea in your head of maybe a piece of furniture you were going to use as a riser. Maybe you were just going to build a bench and set 3 of these things on the bench, and that's fine. You don't need individual risers. You don't need to spend $150 for all these risers. And you don't need to spend more money on these cabinets that include risers when you have a plan for that. I mean, I'm just saying that's freedom, right? It gives people the option. What if they don't like your lit marquees, Arcade 1-Up? A lot of people don't. Some of them think that they're washed out. And, you got a point. I don't mind them. I think they look good. But what if you want to rock something else? On my TMNT cabinet, I got a different one. And, maybe you like that better. You like a different, you have somebody in mind You know, Angel over at I'm going to show off his sticker over at Disability. Does all my lip marquees for my countercade projects. He kills it. What if you want to support him? What if you want to buy these 3 cabs with just regular marquees? And I want to give my man some money here. I want to have him hook me up because he makes quality stuff. It gives people that option to come in at a base level and customize. Same thing with cars. Same thing with cars. You can get these cars base model and then build them up from there. Same thing. Let people piecemeal it. Let people piecemeal it. So we're talking about. Let's go over while we're on this topic. While we're on this subject. Wait, what? What is this? Just booked room for Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta. Huge arcades and pinball event. Oh, I travel a lot for work. I was just north of Atlanta. I wish I had a little more time to do that stuff. My schedule is kind of crazy. Brad, listen, you got to put some pics up, right? We want to see this. We want to share them. Mike says, I think Walmart will carry Simpsons and they will have a lower price SKU of $4.99 that may not include certain features. I wouldn't mind that. Mike, I would not mind that at all. I wouldn't mind it at all. So I apologize. I missed super chat. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I think that I mean, here's the thing, Mike. We don't know what the hell is the other game. We don't know. I mean, I'm trying to sit here and think what options won't it have? No stool. Okay, you can get rid of that. Riser, it's kind of baked in the cake. You gotta have that one. I guess you don't have to. But what else would they take off? I don't think we're gonna get a lit deck protector. Maybe we are. So I don't know. I mean, listen, a $4.99 SKU for that. Now you have my attention. Now you have my attention. Now I'm thinking about it because I'll be the first one to tell you I wasn't that pumped about Simpsons. I like it. It's a good game, but I'm not spending. I'm just. I think it's an ugly color scheme. I know it's accurate to the cab, but that's just me. That's just me. Jeff for $4.99. What's going on, brother? You need to move away. You need to move away. Pick one cab from your collection. I need to move away? You need to move away. Pick one cab from your collection. Are you saying that I have to, is this a theoretical thing? Like I have to move and I can only pick one cab from my collection? Oh, Jeff, you're killing me. What are you doing? So I have to move. I'm moving into a shoebox apartment. I can only have one cabinet. Which one am I taking? Ooh. Well, isn't that a pickle? I guess at the end of the day, you're going to have to find something that's unique with a unique control scheme. My knee jerk is kind of Star Wars, but Marvel vs. Capcom is really, really fun. It's a good button masher. I like Turtles. I like all my cabs. Dude, man, you got me. You stumped me. I'm at a loss. I guess my knee jerk is going to be Star Wars just because it's so unique. But that was that's a good one, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat. And let me hit you with let's do a little Chun-Li.
But wait! There's more!
Danger! Danger! Hyper combo finish!
Jeff, thanks so much for the super chat. A very, very tough decision to make for sure. Travis, what's going on, man? I was originally planning this year to buy 3 or 4. Might only get one, and that partially, and that particular one probably won't be until 2022. Well, here you go. That's a real world confession from a real world consumer. I think that a lot of people are having these conversations and really thinking about it. When these things were $3.99, you could pull the trigger pretty easily. If they were all NBA Jam prices, you could probably pick a couple up. You could plan it out, and I think it was a different story altogether. But man, I don't know now. Now, when you're in $700 territory, all of a sudden, a lot of people are just like, you know what? I just can't. I can't do that. Whoa, Nick Glock, what is going on? Swinging hard, bro. For the $50 Snow Dub, told me to pop in. Thank you so much. Thank you to you for $50. That is crazy. You did not have to go that far. I feel unprepared. Thank you. Thanks, Snowdub. And let me hit you with I gotta find. Let's do something new, and let's do something that hopefully thoroughly respects the big super chat. Thank you. Longest finishing move of all time. Oh man, appreciate it. Thank you so much for the $50. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks. Absolutely. Yeah, so let's kind of move on and talk about, well, hold on. Star Wars cabinet. If you can only bring one, just not the same experience on MAME. True. That goes back to that unique control scheme, right? Star Wars is definitely the way to go. Yeah. Crowdtech. I was actually thinking about mentioning Golden Tee. Great casual play game. Everybody, my 19-year-old son and his buddy. I'm like, where are they? They're downstairs. They're playing it, and they got like a miniature tournament going on. It was crazy. The fact that these teenagers, almost in their 20s, but they were just loving this game, playing the hell out of it. So that was definitely you can't discount that. Even though it's not complex, it's still a pretty fun game. Still a pretty fun game for sure. So let's talk about, now that I think Rainwater Games, why would you not pick iircade as the one cab if you could only have one? Seems like a clear choice. Well, let's talk about that. Because in my review, I talked about the difference between NBA Jam and Golden Axe and how, there's a lot of comparisons there. There were some trade-offs that I think, in my mind, justified them being the same price. You lost Wi-Fi, but you picked up a few more games. But there was a $150 increase, and I didn't understand that. So if this is gonna whittle down to, okay, well, it just comes down to the games. The games justify these prices. Really? So if the games justify these prices, and we're gonna go with that number of games, because that's not always the case, but it is sometimes, then I guess an iircade should be worth about $10,000. So if you go over to the iircade website and you scroll down, and they're getting some pretty good titles. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, if you're waiting on the Dragon's Lair cab from Arcade 1-Up, it's already available on iircade. There's Space Ace. If that's your bag, baby, there you go. Not so much for me, but there you go. You got newer games that can run. This Riptide Renegade it's got a pretty good feel to it, like a Wipeout or something like that. So Double Dragon is something I can't believe Arcade 1-Up hasn't done yet. Maybe it's tied up in licensing with iircade. I'm not exactly sure, but that's a big title in my opinion. Shadow Dancer is another good one. Rage of Dragons, I think it's an SNK game that kind of, for me, signals that we could maybe see a little more Neo Geo in their future. And then, you have the games themselves. Now, to be fair, these aren't all just included. You've got a decent games list that is included. I do believe those are the feature games. If you dig into it, you see the actual games that are included. But I wanted to focus on Mutant League Football. It's pretty cool. I think a lot of us are hoping that we can see some .emu action. Streets of Rage 4. I bought it. Limited run games. the maxed out version with the simulated Sega Genesis case with all the goodies inside. I love that game. I do. I absolutely love it. That would be a win. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, the Shredder's Revenge, that would be a win for sure. And then you look at the games. Now, there is a cost associated with this. How quickly, and this, we go back and forth. We talk about the game to talk about the games, and I agree. You have an access to a larger library of games, but if you go to their products, make sure that it's still keeping me on the same page. If I go to a different page, you won't be able to see what I'm doing. So I just want to make sure that it's taking a second. Okay, you can still see. So when you go to this page here and you see their products, their arcades, forget what I'm not exactly sure where that list is, where you see the games that are included. Here we go. 11 games are included, and they are right here. Let me get that out of the way. So right off the bat, you're going to get Double Dragon. You're going to get Dragon's Lair with this package here. You're going to get Beach Buggy Racing. There's other stuff here. I think these games sort of represent the genres. Dragon Master. So you get the puzzle games, the fighting games, the racing games, the side-scrolling beat-em-ups, which Double Dragon is a classic. I'm not gonna talk smack about that. Some of the other games are a little weird. Snowboarding, it's like, okay, that's fine. But these newer games are I think, you're going to see some value right there. You're going to see the difference right then and there between your Arcade 1-Up because of these newer games. So there's that. You've got some pretty good. I personally really like the Double Dragon. I still am not a big fan of the style of it. It looks like a bar top sitting on a riser, and I know that's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. I'm not trying to give them too much of a hard time, but it looks like that. It looks like, here's a bar top on a riser. They could do a lot with those side panels. Maybe a Gen 2 that could mimic a arcade a little bit better. I think you could have your traditional marquee with these speakers facing down. You could do a lot to change this. I say, in my opinion, don't even have a riser. Doesn't make any sense to me. Get rid of the riser completely, and then it's just boom, there it is. It's one big cabinet that, you keep the adjustable feet on the bottom. I like that. That's something that Arcade 1-Up doesn't do. So there's that. So when you go to the games now, how quickly are you going to get into the same price range? When we talk about, we're complaining about, X-Men and all this and being $650 and $700. You're starting with a $500 cabinet. $600 cabinet with the iircade. So you're already at $600, which is not terrible considering everything else. But you're going to find out that it's not going to take you long to get you beyond $700 when you start looking at some of these games. So let's say you were able to get one at home for $600. $499 is just I think it's just the price of the bar top itself, and the riser is separate. So let's say you got it to the house. Let's say you didn't have to pay taxes or shipping. I think they're doing free shipping now still. How long is it going to take you to get up to $700? Well, Retromania Wrestling, which is a big one, that's $30 right there. Our type is $10. We're already at $40 for 2 games. I'm not saying that these prices are bad for the games, but I'm just saying your 11 games is not going to scratch every itch. Here is the list of the featured games. We're just going to go over real quick, because I think there's definitely some winners in here for sure. Kung Fu Master is a classic. Wise Chronicles RPG. That's not what I thought that was. Space Ace is $14 or $15. So there's 15 right there. I mean, and not all these are for everyone, but like Rage of Dragons would be something that I'd be into. Like I said, the Riptide. So you're like $14, $12. I mean, you can pretty quickly rack up $100 in games. And are these the games that you want? I don't know. Or are you just buying them because that's what's available? And you're really going to wait for a better title to come out. For me personally, I'm waiting for this games list to improve. That's why I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Mutant League Football looks really good. Reminds me of I forget the name of the game growing up, but not this game. Let me switch over. This game looks really good. This reminds me of, and this is another benefit with iircade. Stop moving. Stay there. You got something that's current gen. This is available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox, and Switch. So you're kind of running with the big boys, right? This is not the new Spider-Man game, but this is something that's currently available on those platforms you can download. You can also download it on your iArcade. It puts it in a different conversation. You can't do that with an Arcade 1-Up. So in this case, I think it does come down to the software. If we can get some bigger marquee titles, then I can plan it out a little better. If you can give me some Samurai Showdown, if you can give me give me something that I haven't seen yet, some of my personal favorites. Is it possible they could hook up, if they could coordinate Alien versus Predator? My happy ass would be all over that. I'm sorry. That is my game. That's my game. I love it. I play it over and over and over again. I got it on Pandora's Box. I got it on my custom Arcade 1-Up that I made. Love it. What about Raiden? Raiden's kind of an oddball, a top-down shooter, but for some reason, for me, my nostalgia is there. Raiden 2 specifically. That purple power-up with the whip laser. Me and my brother, I remember that. Me and my brother playing the hell out of it. And I loved it. It was so much fun. Stuff like that. That's not a super marquee title, but that's something that I would gravitate towards. And then we got to talk about what @Games is doing. @Games has the components that we can swap out. Let's say we go and we get a pinball game, or even just their stand-up Legends. You can swap out your control panels. If iircade could swap out your control deck for something with a steering wheel on it, or some kind of a flight stick, and you can now play some of these flight games. Ace Combat, maybe not, current gen, not those games, but Ace Combat 1 or 2, some kind of flight game. And you can buy, and I'm not saying give it away for free. I'm saying make it an option on your website where I can go and I can get the control panel that has a flight stick on it, and I can play some flying games. I'm just saying that opens up the possibilities. It makes it more modular. Straight up copy what @Games is doing, but @Games doesn't have that kind of diversity. @Games does not have a steering wheel control panel you can just bolt on and here you go, and now you can play those racing games. That's not out there yet. I don't think that their current size will accommodate that. Not easily anyway. Maybe that's part of that redesign. Maybe the iArcade 2.0 changes that size a little bit, gives it a little more weight to it, to where you can accommodate something like that a little bit easier. Now it's a different conversation. Now we're talking about Daytona USA. We're talking about even random old racing games take on a different. There's a different desire to have one of those games if you can grab a steering wheel and go. Star Wars is a great example. I mean, if they couldn't get that yoke right, it'd be a wasted cabinet. It'd be beautiful to look at, but nobody would ever want to play it. But because the controls feel good, I play that a lot. That's why it's in the office. That's why these are the top two. I like every single one that I've purchased. I enjoy. After I modified the Legacy cabinet, the Midway Legacy, I enjoy that one. I'm getting the height is going to be fixed, and then it's going to be good. But I had to modify that one to get that right. But I like them all. But that's the thing. That's the difference maker. And you got to look at that. Those control schemes are very, very important. That's what sets you apart from, having another console. Because arcade sticks are readily available for all home consoles. They really are. So, you got to think about that. You got to think about it. That's the space that you're operating in. So, so we talk about 3rd gen and 4th gen. And I just, as a quick reminder, I know we've been talking about these prices all day long, but this is what a buyer is looking at, right? It's getting close to Christmas time. Well, okay, maybe not. We're still in the summer, but you saw what I'm saying. We're getting to that point where a few months away, people are going to seriously start considering purchasing items for Christmas. And maybe they're on here and maybe they've heard about this company and they want to check it out. This Arcade 1-Up, what's going on there? And the first thing they're greeted with is an $850 price tag for something like, whoa, what the hell? How many people aren't even interested? They see $850 and they just keep on scrolling. And they've heard about this and but my buddy said he paid $500. Well, okay, it's a little bit more. That's not bad. That's not going to turn anybody off. If you were already thinking about that and like those games, $50 is it shouldn't be $50 more, but okay, that's fine. That's within, reason, I guess. Still shouldn't be there, but I get it. legacy cabs. This is just a straight up lie. We were told these were going to be $400. This is going to be a legacy cab. This is going to be an evergreen cab, and it's going to be $400. And they just arbitrarily threw $50 on it. Sad. But here's the I see what you were saying. This actually went up $50, didn't it? So this went up $50 as well. Still though, here's the tale right here. Here is the freaking song as old as time. It's Beauty and the Beast. Which one's Beauty? Which one's Beast? I think the Beauty is actually down here. So you've got $100 less, even though it's an older cab. This is going to come with your stool. This is going to come with your lit up deck protector too, not just the lit marquee. It's only got 3 games, but it's got the Wi-Fi. And apples to apples here. You're getting one more game with the NBA Jam cab. You're getting a better design, I think, in my opinion. It looks better than what they're doing up there because you don't have the stupid wings. And we still don't know yet. We don't have one of these things out for review. We don't know if that viewing angle, what's that situation? Because legacy cabs have a viewing angle problem. I don't care who you are. If you're over a certain height, you have trouble seeing the top of the screen. And it's $100 more. I mean, listen. I mean, if you're walking in and you want an arcade, this one's got one less game. It's $100 more. It doesn't make any sense to anybody. And then Big Blue's down here completely. This is something that I don't like the look of it. It's not horrific, but I don't like the look of it. But here's the deal. You are getting a brand new design. This is a one-off. As far as I know, I don't know I don't think that they can reuse this design on anything else. This is a singular purpose item. This is going to be the Big Blue, and that's it. And there's nothing else you can use this for. This isn't going to be like a Neo Geo cab or something. There's no other way that you're going to be able to repurpose this unless you do a completely different set of Capcom games. I mean, you're going to have it's going to have to be another 12-in-1, and it's going to have at least 8 brand new games that you can't get on any other arcade one-up cabinet to justify this, right? And I swear, if they do Alien vs. Predator, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind. I will be selling this Big Blue quick. But, if this becomes a series of cabinets, fine. But you're looking at a design that is completely radically different than anything they've done before. Can't be used for any other purpose. And it's $600. It's $50 cheaper. And it's got 12 games on it. And so I don't want to hear all these, all the engineering costs and you've changed things that's why this is so much more expensive. No, I mean, you got a 4-player right here that's $100 less. And you have something that's the 4th generation right here that is completely brand new and different. I mean, marquee, side panel. This is the first one with an extended panel on the bottom here. And it's, it's only $50 more than the new price of the NBA Jam. I mean, you see that line right there? You can see my mouse, right? Yeah. That line right there indicates a separation. So you've got it's a completely different, there was engineering that had to happen here. These were dimensional changes and there was some engineering, I'm sure, but for the most part, this is similar. There was some engineering here as far as strength-wise. They had to consider a lot of things to get that correct, how those two things slide together. And the fact that it's only, it's $600, which is still too much. I think this still could be a $500 cab, but if this was $550, I would get it. I would get it a little bit more than the Ninja Turtles 2 cab. I still can't believe they're doing that to us. But you all know my theory. I think the reason why they're doing this, the reason why we're only getting 2 games on this is because the 4 games that were going to be included on this have been yanked in an effort to somehow save the Simpsons cab, because I don't think the bowling game is going to make it. Listen, I know I could be wrong. Listen, I will make this promise to you right now. Let me make this promise to you right now. We will have an I told you stream, and it won't be me telling you I told you so. You can tell me you told me so if that bowling game shows up. I will have a big ass slice of humble pie, and y'all can give me a hard time in the chat. And I guess I'll have to be super chatting y'all. I don't know, but you can beat me up about it. But I don't think bowling is going to happen. We are 8 days away, and they haven't announced it. Now maybe they're going to do it tomorrow, being 1 week away. I don't know, but I can't at this point to not have the complete games list is crazy. I think. That's just the way I am. That's just the way I feel. I don't see it fleshing out. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Well, man, the chat jumped. I apologize. Nick, what's going on, bro? Did you hit me up again for $5? What are you doing? Didn't even leave a comment. Nick just rolling up with his Glock, pointed sideways, shooting super chats. Man, killing. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And let me hit you with a little something else. How about let's give you a little bit of Killer Instinct.
I'm afraid your path ends here.
But your path continues on, Nick. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Man, something the chat has jumped. I apologize. There he is, third floor. Jason, what's going on, man? How you doing? Pong Pub even went up to wait. Oh no, it didn't. Did I miss that? Did I not see? Yeah, you're right. I just jumped up. I'm not sharing my screen right now, but you're right. Well, you lucked out, Jason. You got that at 550, man. So you did you made it like a bandit. Everything's going up and it's crazy. Look at this guy. I got X-Men versus Street Fighter for $350, and it's a better cab than anything released since. I agree, and I actually got one too. I got one on that. It was the sale they were having to compete with Amazon. I didn't even know why they were having the sale. I just bought it, and that's the one I got. That's going to become something else. I got this problem where I get an X-Men versus Street Fighter cab, and I feel like I got to just turn it into something else. So with the X-Men versus Street Fighter, the first one I got, I turned that into my glorious Alien versus Predator cab, and that was awesome. And I loved it. My current X-Men versus Street Fighter cab is going to become the X-Men 6-player cab. That's right. I've been teasing this for a while. I'm trying to wrap up some of my other projects and at least get them to a point where they're almost finished so that I can begin to tackle this one. I want to focus hard on this one and really try to get this thing wrapped up. My schedule should be getting a little lighter, and I should be able to kind of roll into a few weeks or maybe even a month of being home consistently, and I can really, really work on that cab and get that thing right. Get it right. And Snow Dub, while y'all talking about buttons, take a second to hit the like button. Hit it, smash it, be gentle with it. I don't know. Don't hurt the keyboard, but smash the hell out of that like button. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Absolutely. And let's see, here we go. Jason Guy. They need to fix Big Blue and the Legacy cabs, or the Legacy games, and put the extra Street Fighter 2 games on Big Blue and put the different Capcom games on the Legacy. Yeah, swap it up a little bit. I agree. And I think the Big Blue should be stacked. I think Big Blue with $600 should be stacked full of games. That should have been the first 20-in-1 from Arcade 1-Up. That should have been the first 20-in-1 for sure. Absolutely. What the hell? What is going on here? Hold on. Let me check. Let me check something here. There she is. Miss Harris, how are you? AAL. Is that supposed to be LOL? Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Let me see. Oh, another of people are going to go to countercades. Yeah, exactly. If these prices go to $700 to $800, you're exactly right. I think a lot of people are going to jump on that countercade, bandwagon, at least initially, to try to figure out what it is they want to do, how they want to get in there. And it's definitely a way to kind of get into the hobby and get something unique. It's because that's different. That's sitting on your desk. That's sitting on on an end table or something. And it's 2-player. It's interesting. I'm you know me. I can't wait to get my hands on one and play around with it and see what's up with that. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing, man? The Cotton Connection representing hard. Damn, bro. $100. Nick, save you money for your arcade 1-ups, man. Damn. Killing it. The Cotton Connection is real. The Cotton Connection is alive. Man. Awesome. I don't even know what to say except for thank you. And let me give you another epic Dragon Ball Z moment from the game. Here you go, brother.
What? I'll put you out of your misery.
Gohan!
Is that all you got? Don't give up now!
Dramatic finish, to say the least. I don't know if you're paying attention. He flew through the sun. That was the sun. And shining as bright as the sun is that $100 super chat, Nick. Thank you so much. I appreciate the Cotton Connection represents loud and proud. And he says, pronounces Nico. Nico, not Nico. Nico. Much respect. Nico Glock. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Snowdub, we never got together. This is a fellow Arcade 1-Up owner. Need to hook that up, dude. We need to make that happen. Majanian says he's responding to Keith Myers. No kidding. When your customer base becomes your prime source for marketing, must be Arcade 1-Up. Got to be. Jason Guy says Arcade 1-Up needs to offer 2-player control decks as an option for listen, Jason Guy, that's your name. You've come to the right place. Look, scroll through my videos. I have made a 2-player version of the 4-player Ninja Turtles Ninja Turtles control deck, and it came out pretty nice. That's something I've been lobbying for a while. Actually, I think they should make all their cabinets with a 2-player control deck, but offer 4-player control decks. I think in the case of the X-Men cab, if they want to justify that giant price, you offer a 6-player control deck, but you go with a wide body design and you actually change the monitor size from 17 to, I don't know, at least 24, something a lot bigger to warrant that. You're talking about justifying a higher cost. You're talking about having something very unique. That's the way you do it. And like I said, once again, let people a la carte step into this easily and not have to jump head first into the short and the shallow end of the pool and try to hopefully figure it out and not die. But no, it's check out my channel, scroll through my channel listing. It's the one for the Ninja Turtles cabinet. I made a 2-player deck, and it is nice if you're getting tight on space to be able to swap these out. It really is. I think that, and listen, that's more money. How many people would buy that other deck just for an accessory, just to have it? If nothing else, just to have that. Just something to think about. Just something to think about for sure. I think that it's a great way to go. Yes, he is. Nico is extremely generous tonight. Killing it. So should I return the Golden Axe calf? Should I return the Golden Axe or return it? I'm saying I'm assuming you're saying should I return it or keep it? So here's the deal: you play, you got it. I'll say this: if you have assembled it, keep it. If you've assembled it, rock on for a while, enjoy it, and then if you feel like maybe you don't like it anymore, flip it and get your money back. If it's still in the box, that's up to you. Watch my review. Watch other people in the community's reviews, not just mine. Get different opinions, and then sort of form your own. It may be worth sending it right back. If you're on the fence about a new cab coming out, whether it's Turtles or X-Men or Big Blue or Terminator 2 or whatever, and you're kind of strapped, MG, maybe. Oh, I see. Let me scroll down. Let me catch up with the chat. And he's saying that I haven't built it yet, but I paid $4.99. Well, $4.99 is not bad. It's still a $3.99 cab all day long. It should have been, $4.49 maybe. But I just don't see generation to generation, when you look at what they were able to do for a cab that you can still get now at Walmart. Let's do this. Let's do this while we're talking about it. While I'm talking about it. Because it just is my luck. As soon as I say something about it, they're going to change the freaking price. Watch. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Let's see what is going on here. I mean, wow. So check this out. It even gets a little bit better. Let me remove your comment. Let's go over to our Walmart.com ourselves and take a look and just see. So you look at Miss Pac-Man has actually dropped in price. It was $3.99. Now it's $3.68. I'm not a fan, but hey, there's a lot of people out there that are big on at that price. That's not bad. At that price is not bad. But look, you still got Big Buck Hunter at $4.99. Frogger is that's actually gone down some. I think it was a little higher, $4.15. Pub Table, the Pong Pub Table is $5.50. You can get to, this is gonna for at $3.15. That's gonna be the one without the riser for sure. But look, X-Men versus Street Fighter, $3.99. You can still get NBA Jam for $3.99. Right there, right there. You can get it for $400. Here's your Legacy Cab with the riser for $3.99. They have not increased their prices. $3.15 just for the cab itself. No riser, no lip marquee. Countercades are about the same. This popped up, and I was tempted until I looked over here. And then I saw that price. I'm like, hell no. But no. So there you go. You have an online retailer still offering online pricing at $3.99. So I think there's no reason why they couldn't have made that cab for $399. I just don't see it. I don't get it. Incremental price changes, I understand, but this is something that, it's that generation. It is the the third generation. Look at my review. I had them right next to each other. Apples to apples are damn near the same cabinet when you talk about features. A few more games over here, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi. A few less games over here, but it's got Wi-Fi. Looking side to side, why wouldn't that still be currently $399? It's an arbitrary price increase. I think it's just fair to say, and I'm not making this up. This is a precedent that they have set. This is what the pricing that RK1UP has allowed us to get used to. So you got to ease into a price increase. They are required over time, I believe. Everything goes up over a period of time. But with the economics of scale, if they would have stayed with that same cab design on the sides, I think that they could have made that up, because you could have kept cranking out. Production lines wouldn't have to change at all. You wouldn't have to reprogram CNC machines to cut a brand new side panel and maybe eat up a little more material. You could have rocked that same size, continued that on, and then introduce, maybe you would either prolong Gen 3 or maybe Gen 4 becomes pseudo Gen 3, where it's 4, but it's only an incremental change. You still have the same side panel design, and you keep rocking that on. But I think a lot of people were happy with Gen 3. I was really a huge fan of Gen 3. I love it. It's great. It's my favorite design, with the exception of some of the one-offs like the Star Wars. So, I just think that they may have missed the boat when they decided to just make this quantum leap to this new side panel design that wasn't necessary. They could have stayed tooled up for the existing side panels and kept their prices low, and then had incremental ratcheting up of the pricing. So you see $20 increases or $25 increases, slight changes that way, in a way that the consumer can just sort of get acclimatized to. But when you have a cab that jumps $250, the pinball machines, when you have a $250 jump, there's no reason for that. There's absolutely no reason for that. And you can't be mad at your customers for being sticker shocked. So you could ratchet those things up nice and easy, increase your pricing in a way that a customer isn't shocked by. It makes sense. I think we all understand cost of living raises. Cost of living does increase. Cost of production does increase slightly over time, but you stay tooled up with your current production model, and those increases are minimal. But we can't undervalue, devalue, underestimate the impact of the shipping. That's real. That's a real world thing. And I may have diminished that in some of my past streams, but I gotta reiterate that I've never doubted the validity of that, but to pass all that on to the customer is just unrealistic. It's just unrealistic. Because I think there's a point at which you can manufacture and keep your pricing exactly the same, and then your profit begins to grow so much that you can begin to taper off some of that pricing also with some of your older not legacy cabs, but legacy products, where your legacy cab would actually be your the original Gen 2, maybe even some of your Gen 3, and then you have the upgrade is really just in software. So the entire cab remains the same physically. There's no change there. So there's really no increased cost other than now we are putting more games on your PCBs, or we drop the price by $20 because our profit margin has grown so much. So the pandemic being the impact, maybe that $20 drop off after, let's say, 12 months, we could have seen that happen after 16 months or 18 months. So maybe they just maintain their same pricing for an additional 6 months beyond where they would have usually dropped it to stay competitive. And then that there's really no complaint from the consumer. We don't see a change. Your margins may grow, but we don't care. We don't see that. We don't care. We're just paying the same. We're paying the same thing all the time. Doesn't bother us at all. Your margins continue to grow, and then whenever everything rebounds, then you can come out with that fourth gen in a way that by the time you get to there, it's not such a huge jump. It's just those radical price changes and shifts is what gets us. It's a sticker shock on some of these news cabs that are really getting to people. Jimmy Woo, what's up? It says, I wish I was just so happy to get into the website that morning for pre-orders that I went through with it before knowing the full price. Stupid me. Not stupid you. Not stupid you. Let me tell you why. Because it's this Nintendo, this technique that Nintendo pioneered. It's this sense of urgency. It's this sense of, man, these things are going to sell out day one. The new PlayStation, the new whatever, the new thing comes out. I'm gonna get it because I'm not gonna have the chance to wait and think about it and then make the purchase. Arcade 1UP has done this because so many times, it just totally fails. Or they sell out immediately and you just don't get that opportunity. So you jump on it. There you go. Brad, you got it. FOMO. Exactly. And that's real, just like nostalgia is real. And so you jump on it trying to get just a piece of what's going on so that you can then form your own opinion. If you wait for guys like me on YouTube to get the thing, whatever the thing is, whatever the cab is, do the review, upload the video, then you watch that. By the time all that happens, you could have missed out. And this is legitimate. So I don't think that you're stupid for that at all. It's a knee jerk. Maybe you get it. You make the pre-order. You wait for the reviews to come out. If the review, keep it in the box, right? If the reviews are bad, then maybe you take it back. Keep the receipt. Maybe that should be your tactic next time. But yeah, just wait on assembling it. That's what I would say, and you'll be in good shape. But then again, at the end of the day, my opinion is really just my opinion. You can trust it. You can give it a little bit of validity, but it's your opinion is what really matters. Fox, what are your thoughts about Intech? So here's the thing I like about Intech. So they did the thing with the Switch, and I don't have a Switch, so I was like, okay. But you could hook up a PlayStation to that. It's not bad. It's a solid solution for people that maybe they're not comfortable with the hackery that we get into as modders. I'm really interested in those. So, what's the guy's name? Mad Little Pixel did a review of Intech's replaceable control decks that have this, and this is kind of cool. They have cartridge slots for Genesis and Nintendo. I'm digging on that. That's pretty cool. But the more utilitarian thing is what they did with the Switch. Problem I have is that's for first and second gen cabs. They really need to come up with something that's going to fit the third gen cab, because there's a depth issue between second and third gen cabs. The way that the location of where it meets up against the monitor is completely different. I put a Final Fight control deck on my Terminator, or on my I keep saying Terminator. I keep wishing that I already had that. The TMNT cab, I put that directly on there, kind of as a mock-up to see what the two-player would look like and how it would fit. and there was just a giant half-inch, 3/4-inch gap. It's horrible. So if they did something for the 3rd-gen cabs, of which I have a lot of, I've only got one 1st-gen cab. I don't have any 2nd-gen cabs. I'd be interested. I'd probably buy it. I don't like those overlays. Those overlays suck. But we know people, places we can go to, websites we can go to where we can have a custom graphic printed up, and then we can do that. I mean, modders have that edge where we're not intimidated by that stuff. We'll jump in. So Mike says Walmart is not jumping on the more expensive cabs. They are forcing Arcade One Up to offer them custom SKUs, and Walmart does that. I've worked for companies that sold to Walmart, and Walmart requires a lot of their suppliers. That can be great for the consumer. That can be rough for the company that's supplying the goods to Walmart. Kongs R Us, what's up, man? How you doing? Wow, just came in and seen the $100 super chat. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, dropping bank tonight. Yeah, it's. I'm blessed. I am absolutely blessed. A lot of generosity from the community. Fox might want to check out Rainwater Games. His comment. Let me scroll up. Rainwater, what you saying? Hey, P-Dubs, what's going on? Sorry, I didn't see you, brother. Yes, it's surprising that Walmart hasn't raised. Yeah, exactly. Well, yet you're right. That's the optimal word there, isn't it? So get them while you can. When they put the pinball listings back up, it's going to be $8.29. You heard it here first. Well, maybe not first, but you heard it here. I think it's inevitable. I think you're right. They're only going to do this, I think, with their existing stock. Rainwater. What did you say? Am I missing it? Rainwater. Let me go. I'm going to go. Let me go down all the way to the bottom. Rainwater, if you could, if it's a message, if it's a comment he's talking about, could you go ahead and just retype it for me? I appreciate it. Retype that question. Retype that question for me, because it's getting some attention. Also notice Intech has the NES deck that plays cartridges, but the carts stick out too much and block part of the screen. That's what I would like to see. I actually don't, for once, I don't have a control deck here with me. What I want to see is you take it's a replaceable control deck and a J panel. You know, the control panel sits here. Is it in here? No, I don't have the instructions, do I? So if you take your, you've got your control deck sitting here, right? This is the top, this is where the buttons and sticks are. And you've got your I panel down here, and your J panel is that little slanted piece here. I would like to see a control deck, and the cartridge slot is right here. So you're standing in front of your control deck, and it would be below your controls. And then your J panel that comes with your kit is slotted, so you can just put the cartridge in. That's what I want to see. I know what you're talking about. It does. It sticks right on top. And I'm sure for manufacturing purposes, that's easy. Or easier, but oh, he's saying, look at my channel. Check his channel. Okay, I will check it right now. Zero Hero, are you telling me to check this guy's channel right now? Is he? What's going on? Is he live streaming? What's up? Look at your channel. I'll put your channel on now, man. I got 94 people in here. Let me know if that's what you want me to do. Check his YouTube channel. I messed up. Oh, damn. I'm in trouble. I've made somebody's thumbnail. That is never good. In my experience, that's never good. Zakarat 315. Zakarat. Is that a play on Kakarot from Dragon Ball Z? I'm just curious. Howdy. How did you and how did the chat? Superleaf 64. Do you think Arcade One Up would dip their toes into anime like? Listen, you're talking about, okay, so JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a great Capcom fighting game. That is CPS 3. I've been saying this for a while. If they want to charge top dollar for a cab, they need to make a CPS 3 cab. Those games never really got a wide release. While I'm talking, I'm gonna see if I can type this up. If you wanted any proof whatsoever, all you need to do is go to eBay.com, and I want you to type in JoJo's. I'll do it for you. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is a CPS3 game. Let me type in PS1. Check this out. Because trust me, dude, I've been all over this. Okay, check this out. Because you know I'm a Capcom head, and I am an anime guy. Not a huge anime guy. I have certain anime that I like, but that's definitely one of them. Check this out. You ask, I deliver. Check this out. Look at these prices for this PS1 game. We'll start the bidding at $550. $550. This is not new. This is in good condition. Look, this is complete. $550. There is a Sega Dreamcast version that's a little cheaper, but look, $619, $700, $100. So the bid, here you go, $100, and there's still 5.5 days left. $2,000. This has to be new. Factory. Look at this. Factory sealed. Factory sealed. $2,000, or you can buy it now for $2,600. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. But that's a signal right there. Here's what you do, Arcade 1-Up. Here's what you do. You go on eBay. You're trying to dip your toe into anything. You're trying to gauge the market. Here's what you do. You go on eBay and you look up arcade PCBs, arcade boards. How much are they going for? There's a running price for generic arcade boards. And there's some that are out there, and there's a billion of them. And there's some of them that are very hard to come by. See what people, I don't care about the buy it now price. See what people are paying for some of these arcade original boards, some of these arcade ROMs. I'm telling you, that's where you start looking at, maybe we need to go after that. And it doesn't have to be a big license. If you're talking about the arcade crowd, you go after that. Or you do what I just did, and you look at PS1, PS2 games that maybe were in the arcade, but they got a very limited home release. If people are willing to pay that much, and you know those are just buy it now prices, but they're willing to pay hundreds of dollars at least. We saw the one bid, hundreds of dollars for a PS1 version of an arcade game. It's because it's very limited. It's very rare. There's probably a rabid fan base. That's how you decide what's your next cab. That's your market research right there, because the proof is in the pudding. If people are willing to pay that, there's something there. If they'll pay hundreds of dollars for a PS1 disc, you think they won't pay $500 for your cab? If they're willing to pay, I mean, I don't know, that's $2,000 is insane, but let's say that goes for $1,000 for a sealed copy. You think they won't pay $700 for that cab? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one thing. What about Red Earth? That's a major Capcom release that never really got anything at home. The only appearance those characters ever made, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, but in the U.S., you're looking at Capcom Fighting Evolution. I think it was the only time we saw any characters from Red Earth. Not Red Earth, the total game, the port. Just characters from that game. And there may be one character from that game that is in like a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or 2. I'm not sure. But yeah, look for those games. That's what you want to do. Emulate those rare gems. That's going to get us excited. And maybe you put a normie game on there. And normies, like, it's like if you're talking about comic books, you got normies, and you got people that are really into comic books. Put a normie game out there, a big, if you want to do another Street Fighter on there, fine. You want to do Street Fighter Third Strike, that would get normies to come in and look at that cab. And then you put some Red Earth on there. You put some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on there. Now you're talking about, okay, now we're talking about some deep cuts from mainstream houses, mainstream publishers like Capcom, that people would buy that up. Now you got my interest, because I can't get that anywhere. It's tough to replicate that. Don't sell me the stuff that I can get on a PS2 compilation for $20. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously. When I've got my PS2 over there, rocking the Pound Technologies. Here it is. Is this it? Yeah. Rocking the Pound Technologies adapter, HD adapter for my PS2. And I can play my whole collection. Don't sell me something that I can get elsewhere. Go for something special. Go for something unique. This is a great adapter, by the way. If you don't have a PS3 that's backwards compatible, which not many people do, get your PS2, and you can get those for $100 or less. and get that cable. It's awesome. It's awesome. Is Zohar in here? Are you in here causing trouble? What are you doing? What's up, man? Saw you on Dreamcast Kyle's intro video. Oh, really? Oh, cool. That's awesome. Are you collabing with him on something soon? Listen, I'll tell you something, Zohar. And this is just between me and you and the other 90 people in this chat. I've asked him on the show, and he declined. Now, to be fair, when I asked him on the show, I set up that stream when I was in California. So by the time I got back, over to my side of the continent, the time was off by 3 hours. So he was like, "Dude, I got to work tomorrow. I can't come on your show at midnight." So I'm like, "Oh, I messed that up." But by the time I got that all straightened out, it was time to start the show. So he has been invited on this show. He has. Just saying. I offered that freaking Canadian a spot on the show, and he denied me. And I was hurt. I'm not going to lie. Tears were flowing. They were. Even made an intro for the guy. And no, I was denied. No, I'm just giving him a hard time. No, Kyle's a good dude. And hopefully he'll come back. I know he was taking a break. And we have to do that from time to time. As YouTubers, it's tough to come up with stuff and get kind of caught up in numbers and stuff. And it's great to just take a little time off and refuel. But you got to know that you got to roll with it. Take the good with the bad. Views and all that stuff. Sometimes you got to just do what you enjoy, do what you love. I got videos on my channel that just get a couple hundred views. Some even less than that, but I'm enjoying myself, and hopefully people will get something out of them. So, but the live streams are fun. I get to actually talk to y'all. This is awesome. Heck, RK1UP should go on eBay and see the price. Yeah, the price of marquees and deck protectors, then actually make them available for sale. Thank you, ACS Rocks Esports. Thank you. You're talking to a guy who has been on the notify me list for a new Ninja Turtles deck protector for a very long time. Very long time. Because I, like a dummy, over tightened. In my defense, may I say, I think those first, I guess that will be a third gen. The first 4-player deck protector was thinner than the current models. Let me just put that out there. So it's not all my fault because I'm not that strong. Soggy Kid, what's up, man? RK1UP should make a baby Pac-Man pinball machine. It's a machine that is known to break, and I think a digital version would be unique for people who would buy it. Yeah, so you've got the 1UP pinball machines now. They're $850, but you got those Babycades that are coming out. And listen, I know everybody's hating on the Babycades. But I think that if you're gonna try to broaden out that market, if you want to normalize something to kids, get them at a young age. Think about it. The concept of an arcade is foreign to most kids, young teens, right? I got a 14-year-old, and he looks at that like, what is this? What is it? They're just not as common. You don't see them anymore. So if you want to get them young, get them used to that, and then they can come over, they can look at dad and be like, hey, I got one like you, It's like the little kitchens that you make for they make for the girls, the little wood shops that they make for the boys, the plastic play school stuff, same thing. So if you're talking about a pinball version of that, yeah, no, I think so. Saw you on Dreamcast Kyle's intro video today, and you already read that. I already read that. See, what's wrong with me? Look at Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Dreamcast games. Brad, I've got Marvel vs. Capcom 1 for Dreamcast, and I had MVC 2 for Dreamcast back in the day. Played the hell out of it. Can't afford it now. I probably could, but I got RK1UPs to buy. So, got something I have to give. But you're right, Fox, but they can't play it. Yeah, I know. Guilty Gear series. Yes, the Guilty Gear series. I actually cut my teeth on the Guilty Gear series on my PSP. And you talk about something that's kick ass and plays very well on the PSP. Absolutely. Kid Son, what's up? I paid $59 for MVC2 on Amazon back in 2016, and now it's over 200. I know. Listen, I've still got it on PS2. I've got it on PS2, and I downloaded the HD version for PS3, so that is on my hard drive. I got that, but yeah. Tetsunoku versus Capcom and Capcom SNK 100% would pay $700 for. You'd pay $700 for that? I think you're not alone. Zero Hero, I think you're not alone. I think that if Arcade1Up could make that jump beyond the CPS2 era, they kind of did it already when you're talking about the Big Buck Hunter. They've made that jump into 3D gaming. They just got to go a little more arcade mainstream. Some of those retro titles. MG, do you recommend WoW sticks? Speaking of which, so what is he talking about? He's talking about the WoW stick screwdriver. I have one of these right here. And I was a little bit hesitant to get one of these. You can see, you see the price there, $45. You see all these little bits that it comes with. This little kit. It is rechargeable. And there's a video there. But so this is what he's talking about. You can go to Amazon and look up WoW Stick Precision Screwdriver, if you can talk. About $45. And to answer your question, yes. For small components, you're talking about those PCBs with those little screws. You're talking about if you've seen my the video where I'm playing around with that PS2 and that DVD player. This has been great for that. It has a really cool, so it comes with this solid piece of aluminum. It's not a charging stand. It's just a stand. And you heard that? It's quality. Put that right there on your desk, and you can store that up there. It comes with a little compartment that's got magnets on it to hold a bunch of, and it actually has 3 tubes. And the tubes contain all your bits. And what I really like about it is you have some long bits. Not just the short stubbies, but you have some long ones here like this. Boom. Really good for getting into some of those circuit boards, for getting in some of those deep recess screws on some of these panels, back panels, front panels you're trying to take off. So yeah, so I actually, I recommend it. Is it going to have the torque to break loose big screws? I don't know. Probably not. But if you're talking about any kind of component repair, super bright light. It's got some pretty good torque too. Recharges pretty quick. Recharges via USB micro or micro USB, and it's aluminum. This is not plastic. This is aluminum, so it's solid construction, and I've had no issues with it. I don't know if the battery. I'm sure the battery is removable, maybe. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. For $45, you can't beat it. It looks cool on your desk, and it's great for getting into small spaces. So yes, I do. I do recommend it. I was actually going to talk about that tonight. Ironically, the Babycades look more durable than regular cades. Super Leaf 64 is correct. I think that if they make this like some of those Play School big plastic things, those injection molded things, you can knock them over and push them over. They're not going to break. And if they're rocking that little 8-inch screen, if it's locked in there real tight, yeah, I think you're right. Mine's always long, never stubby. Well played, sir. Well played. Hipster screwdriver, yes. Hipster screwdriver. But at the risk of seeming like a hipster, I also got a regular Linux 11-in-1. Still rocking the classics. Got an iFixit case too, but that's a really nice little screwdriver. Really nice screwdriver. Tetsunoku versus Capcom. Yeah, I have it for the Wii. Yeah, I wanted that for PS3 or PS4. They didn't have it just for the Wii, kind of exclusive. I have it for the Wii. I've been debating on putting it on 1-Up, like Ralph did. I haven't decided what I want to do yet. If you're not getting a lot of use out of your Wii, I would do it. I wouldn't do it if you got to swap out your console constantly. When I do that on my arcades, I give up the ghost. I'm like, that gaming console is going to live there. That's where it's going to stay. That's a good game that gets overlooked. So you know what? While we're here, why don't we blow up Rainwater Games? And let's give a little traffic and let's see what's going on over there. Let's see what's going on over there real quick. Let me share my tab. I want to talk about, before we head over there, let's look at this poll. I wanted to bring this up real quick. So the number of votes that I've gotten on this has more than doubled since the last time we talked about it. Talking about those 2-player countercades for one, if they were $199. I think all the positions have remained the same. Even with all the increased votes, you still have a big lead on TMNT. For those that actually want it, 44%, almost half are like, nah, I'm good. I'm not really interested. But of the 56% that's left, 21% wants to see TMNT. Marvel superheroes, the one that I'm looking at is a semi-close second, but it's almost neck and neck with Mortal Kombat. NBA Jam, not a lot of desire for that. Not a lot of. I think that was maybe something that they just maybe kind of missed the mark a little bit. But let's go up here. Let's look for Rainwater Games. Water Games. See if I can find this guy. Look at this guy. Oh no! What is this? If you can only pick one cab, 19K Vox is wrong. Oh, hell. Look at this guy. If you could only pick one cab scheduled for 1040. Oh, well. Really? 19K Fox is wrong. Well, on that note, all 83 of you that are in here, why don't you head over to Rain? Well, we're going to wrap this up. Well, let me go. I got to do this right. I got to do this right.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
That's right. We're going to wrap it up because I've been issued a challenge. I have been told that I'm wrong. And if you've been married for as long as I've been, you're used to that. You've heard that a lot. Go over. Let's go ahead and raid Rainwater Games' stream. You saw what he's about to talk about. He's about to talk about the fact that I am wrong. And I hate to admit it, but I've been known to be wrong from time to time. Thank you so much for stopping by, everybody. Swing by, check out his stream, and I will, of course, see you next time.